What did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
Do you think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
That's about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull away in the second half, Caitlin, in particular?
We're going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's
That's
go!
exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
What do you think, again, in the second half?
What if Caitlin Clark is already thinking about leaving the WNBA? It sounds crazy, but the pressure, the physical play, and the constant controversy are starting to raise serious questions. Every game feels more intense than the last, and fans are beginning to notice something isn't right. Now imagine this. One final deep three, a silent crowd, and she walks away just like that. No warning, no second chances. If this rumor is even close to true, the WNBA could lose its biggest star way sooner than anyone expected.
NBA record. This is her second season. And you put the numbers together, that's like 10 seasons. That girl did it 10 seasons. That means she had one a season. Caitlin Clark is... when Caitlin Clark gets to 10 seasons, she's going to have 100 of these. And y'all can't get a girl her roses. Now, I don't like the fact that she be getting woke because she don't want all these lesbians to be mad at it. At the end of the day, is the woman putting in the work, she's putting in the work.
It's official. Fans have had enough. Watching Caitlin Clark carry the spotlight while taking all the pressure, all the hits, and all the criticism is pushing people to the edge. For the second season in a row, she's not just playing basketball. She's stuck in the middle of non-stop drama. Expected to perform, stay composed, carry the league, and still smile through it all. But now, the energy is shifting. Fans aren't just frustrated anymore. They're angry. What started as support has turned into something bigger, a full-blown movement demanding change. Because at this point, it's not just about the game. It's about how long one star can keep taking everything before something finally breaks.
This is all going according to plan. This is ideal. Caitlin Clark is holding up her end by being awesome and by being a trash-talking jerk on the court. Love it. Her teammates are holding up their end by having her back. The other players in the league are holding up their end by not liking her. Perfect. Couldn't have written a better script. Caitlin is talking trash to this girl. This girl's hard fouling her. Her teammate Sophie Cunningham, who got a black belt in Taekwondo at the age of 6, she's like, I will F you guys up. All of it's great, and Caitlin's a killer. 10 out of 10, no.
Let's be real. Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA is getting this level of attention right now. Ratings are climbing, jerseys are selling out, and arenas are suddenly packed in places that barely noticed the league before. She's become the face, the energy, the entire spotlight. But instead of building around her, the response has been questionable. Controversial calls, cold moments on the court, and a level of physical play that feels more chaotic than competitive. And now, fans are starting to notice. Because when your biggest star is carrying everything, the last thing people expect is for her to be left dealing with it alone.
Caitlin Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA, have a billionaire come in that has the money to prove a point, and say, Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a completely different league and expose the hell out of the WNBA just to embarrass this Angel Reese girl that Jameel Hill just said she could go down as a Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Yeah.
Remember when people said Caitlin Clark was being welcomed into the league like any other rookie? Yeah, it doesn't look like that at all. Game after game, the physical play keeps crossing the line, and the whistles don't always follow. At this point, it feels less like a debut and more like survival. Hard hits, late contact, constant pressure, and somehow she just keeps getting up like it's normal. But here's where it gets wild. Every reaction she has gets criticized. If she fights back, it's a problem. If she stays calm, it's a problem. No matter what she does, The narrative flips on her. Meanwhile, fans are watching every moment closely, replaying clips, questioning calls, and demanding answers. Because right now, it's not just about basketball anymore. It's about how far this can go before everyone finally says enough.
I will say this, when Caitlin Clark was out, they lost 55% of their viewership. So, basically, Caitlin Clark is paying all their salaries.
Pretty much.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can hate her as much as you want, but she's brought in millions of fucking dollars. So you should be kissing her ass.
And that kind of defeated the purpose of Angel Reese's argument of she's like, hey, it's not just Caitlin Clark that is bringing all the viewership to the WNBA. It's like, well, it definitely is. It's like it kind of proved that with the viewership rating being down that she significantly increases viewership with
They try so hard to compare her to Caitlin Clark. They try.
The silence from the refs is getting louder than the game itself, and fans are starting to notice. Instead of real answers, it feels like the focus is everywhere except where it should be. Now, the conversation is shifting fast. People aren't just asking if Caitlin Clark should stay. Some are actually urging her to walk away. And honestly, imagine the possibilities. A global stage, bigger deals, a system where the game speaks louder than the chaos. Because right now, it feels like she's carrying everything while getting very little in return. Fans see it, critics see it. Whether they admit it or not, she's the main attraction every time she steps on the court. But no one wants to keep watching the star player fight uphill every single night. At some point, the question isn't what she's bringing to the league. It's what the league is giving back.
Fever and sun hold a brawl and a basketball game breaks out. This was something. Caitlin Clark, without question, gets raked across the face. I think she gets poked in the eye, but it's difficult to tell.
If you're the Indiana Fever, you cannot stand by and let that happen. They need to make it clear to the officials. If you're going to let this happen, then we're going to stand up for our player and make a mess of the game, and you're going to have a big mess on your hands. So you need to stand up for this. You need to do something about this.
You've just learned with definitive data and beyond question that Caitlin Clark controls more than half the audience for the entire WNBA.
And then there's the narrative. People downplaying everything, saying, it's not that serious that she just needs to prove herself. But how much more does Caitlin Clark have to prove? She's already delivering elite performances while carrying expectations most players never face. And still, the criticism doesn't stop. Fans can see the difference. They notice the double standards, the way certain moments are highlighted while others are ignored. The energy around her feels different, and not in a good way. Now, frustration is turning into something bigger. People are questioning the system, the decisions, and the direction of it all. Because if she really decides to walk away, it won't be about ability. It'll be about knowing her value. And if that happens, the impact would be massive. The spotlight, the buzz, the attention, it all shifts overnight. And suddenly, the league is left facing a reality it never expected.
We're expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said, one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf Out Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this. This news is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA.
So what happens if she really walks away? You can already picture it. The hype fades, the buzz disappears, and all the momentum suddenly feels gone. Because, like it or not, Caitlin Clark has become the center of attention, the reason people are tuning in, talking, and showing up. She's already pushed through pressure, criticism, and non-stop intensity, but at some point, it's not about toughness anymore. It's about knowing your worth. And that's where everything changes. Because if she decides to step away, she's not leaving quietly. She's taking the spotlight with her. The fans, the energy, the attention. It all shifts overnight. And the biggest question won't be why she left. It'll be why things were allowed to get to that point in the first place.
I am sick and tired of the way they are treating my girl, Caitlin Clark. I am here to propose a solution. I think they need an enforcer. You know, someone who come off the bench to kind of lay the smackdown on an opposing team member. I want to get the word out to the Indiana Fever that I am available. I'm ready to identify as whatever I need to in order to get the job. They need someone like me. Why? Because I'm not afraid of a 6-foot tall lesbian. I work out. Now, I have a couple of real good go-to moves in my bag of tricks.
If the WNBA wants to keep Caitlin Clark, they better start acting like it. Because right now, it's giving major ungrateful roommate energy. Fans aren't just frustrated anymore. They're ready to pack her bags, cheer her on, and watch her leave for any league that actually respects greatness. She's been the feast in a league starving for attention, yet all she gets in return is crumbs and chaos. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, here come the think pieces, twisting the story like she somehow invited the chaos. After being shoved on the court, Caitlin didn't retaliate, didn't flinch, didn't even break her focus. She walked it off like the queen of composure she is. Meanwhile, commentators bend over backwards to explain why she brought it on herself for daring to be confident in a league that constantly tests her patience. Fans see it all, and they're done watching the star get sabotaged every single game.
Lexi Holdown gets it. Sheldon's face. Caitlin Clark hits the deck. Sheldon and Cunningham are getting. Caitlin Clark with a few words with JC Sheldon.
Here's a wild truth. Talking trash has always been part of the game. Michael Jordan did it. Kobe thrived on it. Larry Bird practically invented psychological warfare. But when Caitlin Clark talks back, suddenly it's treated like an invitation for chaos. Players lose control, analysts overreact, and the narrative flips entirely. Even her competitors, people who've gone head-to-head with her, agree the shove she took was completely out of line. Yet the media acts like she somehow caused it. Let's be real. If she had responded, the story would have blown up everywhere. Lifetime specials, highlight reels, endless debates. But Caitlin stayed composed, classy, focused on the game. And still, somehow, she gets blamed. It's like punishing a mailbox for standing too confidently on the curb. Fans see it all, and they're done with the excuses.
Caitlin Clark has decided to quit the WNBA and move on, go play over in Europe. I do not blame her. I applaud it. I say do it. Get as far away from the WNBA as you can. Let that league sink. Okay? Do not help them, Caitlin. Get away. I believe you could create your own league. Okay? You could be the fucking player that creates whatever, the next professional women's basketball league. Let this one just go and let Caitlin try to build the next WNBA.
The mental gymnastics around Caitlin Clark could win Olympic gold. She's too confident. She plays with attitude. Big deal. Every elite athlete does. But somehow, her confidence is treated like a crime. In this twisted version of the WNBA, she's expected to take hits, take blame, and stay silent. All at once. And somehow, the blame always lands on her. Marina Mabrey delivers a full-body shove. Caitlin keeps her composure, and suddenly, she's the villain. Analysts dissect her posture, her shoelaces, even the way she breathes, while Mabrey gets every benefit of the doubt. The headlines drip with passive aggression. The commentary reads like carefully scripted PR, and fans are left shaking their heads at a league that rewards chaos over fairness. Caitlin stays professional, focused, and classy. And still, she's the one under fire.
I want to get your opinion because it's been a minute on this Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark stuff that's going on. Brittany Griner a couple of weeks ago in a video says trash effing girl when she was playing Caitlin Clark. What's your just kind of 30,000-foot view of this?
There is not an organization more dedicated and committed to self-imploding than the WNBA.
That's
the WNBA was like handed the golden egg that is Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And they have done everything to just self-destruct.
Yeah.
Whether it's these totally crazy like racial investigations that have been proven a hoax.
And here's what's really infuriating fans. Caitlin Clark hasn't even asked for special treatment. No press tours, no complaints, no drama. She just shows up, game after game, hit after hit, keeping the league afloat, while everyone else twists the story into a soap opera. If she had shoved back, she'd be suspended, ejected, and paraded through every media outlet as the problem. But she didn't. She stayed professional, kept her composure, and somehow, she's still painted as the villain. Fans aren't blind. They see the double standards, the stacked rules, the way the star who brings in ratings, revenue, and excitement is treated like a punching bag. And yet, she keeps playing. She keeps showing up. A generational talent, a jersey seller, an inspiration, and still, the league can't seem to protect her.
Caitlin Clark did her thing. Coming off of the injury, she returned for the Fever, and I swear I am not being hyperbolic. We were immediately gifted one of the greatest halves we have ever seen in the WNBA, and I say that with all context involved. This series from Caitlin Clark, the pull-up three here, and you are about to see back-to-back-to-back triples for Caitlin Clark in this game. I am not trying to erase the things we have seen from Maya Moore, from Diana Taurasi, Asia Wilson's 53-point game, Stewie, Cynthia Cooper. Like, we have seen incredible halves of basketball, but you see Caitlin Clark coming off of that made three from the Liberty. Pull-up, of course. She's making it in that moment.
And when Caitlin Clark doesn't flinch, when she handles everything with grace, they still try to paint her as the problem. At this point, they'd blame her for global warming if it got them a few seconds of airtime. So, when fans say they want her to leave the WNBA, it's not because they don't want her to succeed. It's because they want her to survive. They want her somewhere she can thrive without being the scapegoat for everyone else's insecurities. Somewhere that respects her talent, her hustle, and the game she's elevating. Because the truth is simple. Caitlin Clark isn't the problem. She's the mirror, and some people clearly can't handle what they see.